There's something going on in the bass fishing world right now that is going under the radar. Even though there's a lot of new technology out here with big fancy screens, flashy lures, this technique right here is sliding under the radar. Most of all, this technique is proven to catch big bass. The Carolina rig, let's talk about this. It's an age-old technique. I'm sure you've seen it before, but let's get into the specifics and also talk about why it works so well. That's the most important thing. So today I'm using, it's a 7'3" heavy powered rod. I would normally use probably a medium heavy, but I'm in Florida. They got big bass and they got a lot of grass. You need to be able to manipulate that fish as quick as possible. So I'm using the 7'3" heavy power rod. You don't want one that's too short because it just is hard to throw the bait with. I'm using 20-pound test main line and I'm using a 15-pound test after my swivel. If you're wondering what I mean by that, how you rig up a Carolina rig is I've got a sinker, I tie a knot, then I have a barrel swivel, then there's another knot. And on my Carolina rig, I've got about 24 inches of line in between my 2 knots and my hook. All right, so I'm using a Palomar knot on all 3 knots, and I'm using an offset hook. This is just one of the best hook, in my opinion, to use for this technique is just a regular offset worm hook. This is a 3/0. And for my plastics, I'm using 2 different color SMH worms. This is a Z-Man SMH worm. This is green pumpkin goby. I use it in the Carolinas at home, down here in Florida. I've used it in Missouri to New York. This one's green pumpkin goby, and then I'm also throwing a red. This is plum. Those are my 2 favorite colors for summertime. And what makes this work so well is bottom contact. I know one thing that we've been taught about a Carolina rig that is not necessarily true, and if you don't believe it, try it in a pool. We always say that a Carolina rig drags the bottom and the plastic floats up above the grass. Have you ever looked at one in the pool? Everything just drags the bottom, which is why it works so well. Sometimes fish just really get tight to the bottom. Other bait that I'm using as well is just a creature bait today. This is my Z-Man Gremlin. I'm using this one in June bug, just a dark color for this tannic water that we have here in Florida. And that's the setup. That's all I'm fishing so far. And it works really, really well for those offshore bass.
That's the bite.
Got one?
I just got bit.
Hit him. I want that worm early, huh?
I just got bit.
Hit him with the fire.
I'm waiting on him to take it.
Coming at you. Hit him with the fire and the brimstone. Oh, that's a lake toad. Now, they say here and watch us jerk bait, top water, Jim Pepper. Uh-oh, he went through your leg, how skinny he was. You see him? Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh, whoa, 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 hey, hey, hey. Look at that. Look how skinny, where's that at?
I don't know.
Man, he been ate by, I don't know what happened.
You got bit? By something? Up on the gill?
You got bit by something? Here, this you current. You take care of your meat.
I'm gonna put that meat right over here in the freezer.
Well, there's that, folks. he said, y'all thought y'all was gonna get some B-roll? Nope. Bop, right out to the water. Well, there's that part. They definitely don't want, they don't want nothing moving. Cause that's
we're just late. We're just a little bit late.
They're just gonna sit there and just watch that jerkbait dance in front of their face like that. That makes you think, how many times do you just go past fish?
Pull that.
Pull it?
Just pull it real easy like you're fishing it. You feel in the grass?
Grass now. That'll bite one, that's just grass.
Easy, because you should hit hard bottom.
That's on the bottom now. Yeah, just nothing.
And just let it sit there for a second. Because when I hit that hard bottom,
I know this ain't getting, now if I throw out here, I get marred up in the grass. Married. Y'all know what married is? Yeah, you got another bite?
Not yet.
Over here, you get married up in the grass. When you throw over here to the right side, then it's hard. That's the key to fishing grass. Always. I don't care if you're in Florida, Canada, Gunnersville.
That's another bite.
Oh.
Oh! You feel him come on?
Did he come on?
He's there. He's there.
He's on it?
He's there. Yeah.
Man, let me put my jerk bait down. Let me put this thing down. You ain't gonna do this to me. It might be your late, but you're not gonna do this to me today. Not today you won't get to. So y'all, I'm fishing a Carolina rig today. This bait right here, it'll make you use all your senses. Your smell, your sight, your hair growth, your beard growth, everything. Reason being, see your weight. I'll show you what we got here. So I've got a sinker. Most people know what it is, but just in case, a sinker. I got a swivel. In old school, we used to put a bead in here. A lot of people still do. I don't. I figured if my weight is good enough on a Texas rig on top of my knot, then it's good on a Carolina rig. I got a fairly short leader. This one's probably about 24 inches. Then I got my hook. So the weight, the hook separated. And so there's a little bit of loss of feel because your weight is separated from your hook. And so you got to be paying attention to what's going on at all times. I'm just throwing a straight tail plastic on here, black straight tail plastic with a little 3/0 offset hook. But the thing is, when I throw it out there, it's dragging the bottom, and basically all I'm feeling is what that weight is doing. I feel it when it's in the grass. I feel it when it's in the bare spots in between the grass. But when you get a bite, you really got to be paying attention because they don't always just hook. You know, they ain't always hook. Sometimes they do. Every once in a while you get one that's crazy, wacky and crazy. But most of the time, you know, he's just kind of swimming off with it. It just picks it up, goes off to the left or right. And so you really got to be paying attention to what's going on. It's not like a Texas rig where the feeling's instant. Because that weight and the hook is separated, a lot of times the bite is much harder to detect. But it makes it a little bit fun.
You on it?
I'm on it.
I like it.
Oh, that's a little better one right there.
That's a much better one.
That's a little better one right there. Come on, Colonel, don't you? I thought I saw you going down. I thought you were about to go for it.
You want me to get him?
You go ahead and keep catching. I just like to show off my landing skills. You know, that way, I just want the people to know how talented I am. You know what I'm saying, Cam? Put that in S&Q, huh?
Pressure's off now.
Pressure? Hey, the fish is the one got pressure. I ain't got no pressure.
I had
the
pressure.
bass has got pressure today.
I had pressure trying to make sure you were on some fish.
Hey, hold on a little bit longer, Colt. Hold on. Jeez. I did exactly what you said. It was sitting in that, it broke free. It's thick up there, the grass breaks free. In that open spot, I just let it sit there and just talk to them about throwing a Carolina rig in the open spot. And then you feel him going,
Yep.
He's doing like this, Colonel. He said,
yep.
And then I blacked out. I did John Cena. You can't see me.
John Cena. You got him, buddy?
I got a freaking horse.
Do you really?
I know I do. You never seen the ones I catch. That one right there is an 8-pounder. 8 pounds.
My man.
Hold on, it's more like 3 pounds. Okay, it really might be about 2 pounds. All right, this one's gonna be about 1.5 pounds, okay? It's gonna be, actually it's not 1.5 pounds. This one right here is gonna be about 1 pound. Look at that, he spit up somebody's fluke. Look, this just come out of his fish's mouth. Look at that.
Yes, sure did.
That just come out of that fish's mouth. Now that's not my bait, that's what he just spit up. He had that in his throat. And that's not a bait fish, that's somebody else's soft plastic. We're getting started early though.
Hey, Brian.
First couple casts.
Welcome to the club.
I'm in the club. I'm in the house.
Welcome to the club.
Now this fish, what happened was the hook set, yes, it was 8 pounds. But then as I reeled it in, a lot of the body fat was disintegrated by the hook set and the force and the torque of me reeling it in. My expectations today are honestly pretty high. I talk to Colonel throughout the year occasionally. We talk about his tournaments. He fishes a lot of team tournaments right here on the Kissimmee Toho chain. So I hear about the 25-pound bags, the 18-pound bags, the championships. So I want a piece of that. I always hear him talking about, give me some of that, Colonel. So I'm here today expecting to catch a big bag. I honestly expect to catch them pretty quick too. I'm not even gonna lie, because I do not want to be out here in 102-degree heat today, all day looking for 5 bites.
I've been fishing this lake ever since I was a little kid, long before I was able to come out here by myself. My older brother started me fishing here years ago, and I've been addicted to it ever since. As I grew older and got more involved in tournament fishing, I probably fish at least 3 tournaments a month on this lake over a period of the last 20, 25 years. It's a great lake to fish. You have to understand that the water fluctuations and all, but there's any day on any given cast, you can catch your personal best, your lifetime personal best out in this lake. The competition's stiff. There are a lot of great fishermen in the area, and the competition is always good and enhancing. So all in all, it's a great fishery, and I've been at it for the last 25, 30 years.
Folks, today we're doing a little bit of grass fishing. You look all around, there's grass everywhere. Most of the time, the biggest confusing thing for me was always trying to figure out, how do you differentiate where you're gonna fish? Because there's grass over there, there's grass over there, everywhere you cast. What I've always noticed, the more you get in here, you start moving around and looking at the grass, even feeling it. Right now, I'm throwing a bottom dragging bait. I'm throwing a Carolina rig. And as you're fishing, you can feel the bottom. You can feel the difference in the grass. And that's what you want to pay attention to. Colonel he's already scouted this part, so let me not act like I found this. He's already figured this out and caught several big bags of fish here. But what's special about right here versus this entire lake is that the grass is scattered. It's clumps of grass, and then there's literally hard bottom. That hard bottom is just lanes for bait fish, brim. A lot of times brim will bed on those hard spots, and that's what brings the bass in.
Do you got a fish is the question.
I got a fish.
Yes, you do.
Smaller one. He's a smaller one. He's not one like I'm accustomed to catching, but I don't mind sharing a little bit of love with everybody. Dude, when you throw it out there and you're just dragging it and it hits that clear spot now, come on, man. Listen, this is what I'm all about. This is what I'm here for. I'm using a pretty small hook too. I got a 3/0 hook for a couple reasons. I feel like just in that grass.
I know why.
In the grass, it just don't snag up as bad.
Tell me what you want. I know exactly why you.
What else you think?
Pull your hand up. Spread it out. That's why.
Hey, man. But listen, that's pretty good. They might grow. I got more time to grow. I might grow. I'm using a fairly small hook. That's a 3/0. We're loading up the stuff in the boat this morning. I noticed Colonel is known for throwing a swimming worm. That's one of the things he catches all his big bags on. But I noticed I didn't see no swim worm. All I saw was a top water and a Carolina rig. Carolina rig. I wasn't expecting to throw a Carolina rig today. In my mind, just Florida, grass fishing, Carolina rig. I was thinking more like punching. I could understand the top water, but I was really surprised when he said we were gonna be throwing a Carolina rig.
Brian, you got a fish.
Oh, he's buried up in the grass. I don't think he's in the grass. Oh, he's going out to the side. That's a good one. I think that's the best one we had today.
I like that.
That's the best one we had today. Yeah, that's a solid one. He's a solid. I'm gonna try to power pull down right here. I don't know if it's too deep or not.
It might be. Spotlight.
Let's see, I'm gonna come under your rod right here. Then I'm gonna go down here to the bottom and load. I'm gonna try to load him. God, he's still digging down in the grass. Oh my God. That one hit completely different than the rest of them. Come here. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That's definitely one of the better ones we had today.
They get better.
Oh yeah. I like that a lot.
They get better, buddy.
I just threw it out there. I was just letting it set. I'm talking to you about trying to help get backlash out, and my rod was going, Then you know what I did from there. You already know what I did.
Showed him who the man was.
I did get to set the hook a lot this morning. We set the boat down, and boy, I'm talking about it was ready to skirt. He was setting the hook. I was setting the hook. I was like, you're in the way. I want to set the hook this way. No, I had to set the hook that way. It was good fishing. As soon as we got there, lights on, camera action. And then as the day went on, it just kind of waned. It became where you made a cast to that one slick spot and you drag it through. You'd be waiting for a bite and you didn't get one. I think those fish just started to get under those mats, under the hydrilla mats. They weren't out feeding as much as they were. And when that happened, we had to start to work to get bites. Today I'm out here on Lake Toho. You know, anywhere you're in Florida, there's gonna be a lot of grass. Right now we're fishing offshore grass. And one of the keys to catching bass on offshore grass is to be able to find an area where there's clumps of grass close to clean areas, hard bottom, solid bottom. A lot of times we can find those visually with our bare eyes, but if it gets much deeper than 6 to 8 foot, then we need to start using our electronics to find those areas. Today I'm out here using my Lowrance HDS Live Pros, and I'm idling around and I'm looking for those bare areas with my side scan. Side scan is a great tool for you to be able to cover water. I'm looking out to the left, 100 foot, I'm looking out to the right, 100 foot. and I've got that image on my screen, and it's displaying all the little dark spots, which in this case will be where the clumps of grass are. I'm looking for those little bare areas in between. That's how I'm going to find my beds. A lot of times I'll find brim beds in between those areas. If I got brim beds, I got bass. So learn how to use your electronics, learn how to decipher what you're looking at, because that's going to be the key to finding fish offshore when you're fishing grass. Uh-oh, Colonel. Come on, what you got? How big is he? He's big enough. You notice they've come a little bit closer to the boat than the last few bites, hasn't they?
I had stopped my bait and was looking up at the deck.
Yeah, looking up at the drone.
And I felt, doop.
He probably done had it at half cast.
Probably, probably.
He probably done had that bait half a cast. He said, man, I wonder if this fool ever gonna set the hook on me.
Personally, for me, fishing is my outlet. It's really the thing that I run to that gets rid of any challenges, any issues that I may have experienced in my life. But it's also a means that I get to share with my son, my grandchildren, and my wife from time to time. But I go out, I have great camaraderie with all the guys that I compete against. I spend time with my son and my grandson on the lake, and I'm about to get started with my 3 youngest granddaughters. As soon as this next spec season come up, we are planning to take them out on their first fishing trip as well. But it's been an outlet for me for a lot of different things. I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to fish in a lot of different parts of the country and enjoy some great successes while doing that.
Got him? Come on, Colonel. Don't be lying to us like that.
Unless he's on.
No. Oh, that's bull crap, Colonel. That's bull crap. That was your first cast. No. That is bull. Hey, I'm not saying I didn't want you to catch the fish. I'm just saying, how did you just move to an area?
Look what he caught.
Make you yeah, I know, in the swim doggone jig. And we ain't caught not one fish on. He got mites all over. You see, those are grass mites.
That right in the water right there. Is that a small bass?
Being
able to get out on the water with Brian is something that we've talked about doing for some time. Schedules have been pretty packed. His has been more so than mine, and we've been diverging on our paths for quite some time. But we were able to pull this together. He was down in the Florida area, gave me a call, and I was more than happy to accommodate and get out with him and spend a few hours on the lake with him. Clearly, this is one of the things that I enjoy and look forward to because, again, he's a very personable guy. He's easy to get along with. He's not over aggressive. It's just been a really great experience with me, and I'm finally glad that we were able to get back out on the lake again for a change.
Colonel, look what we got coming right here.
Brian, I know you're from South Carolina, but in Florida we call that aqua fria.
Well, I call that get your butt wet is what I call it. So we had a good day.
We did.
I'm satisfied.
I'm happy.
I done drove 10 hours down here. I think I got all my money's worth, and I got to fish with one of my best friends.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Listen, Colonel Don Eady, if you ever come down here and you plan on tournament fishing, you better make sure he's not in the tournament. I promise you. He's gonna put it on you like the Mac Daddy. I had a good time fishing out here, catching on a Carolina rig. Easy fishing, but at the same time it's hard fishing because you gotta find them.
You gotta find them.
You gotta find them.
You gotta find them.
That's area is the deal. It's not necessarily the bait. Thank y'all for watching Straight Up Fishing. Until next time, let's try to not be wet. That's what I say. Let's just try to get out of here before it gets wet.
It might be too late, but that's
all
all right.
It won't be too late. I'm gonna let this falcon fly.